All right, so Keith, today we are talking to Chelsea Hernandez.
My pal Chelsea Hernandez is finally coming on the show.
Yes, we've tried to get her a few times, which we have had to reschedule because she is in production.
She is in hardcore production where she is traipsing around the globe on a PBS show called City of Songs. I'm jealous. To be honest with you, I'm very jealous. It's a neat project. But Chelsea is a director, she's an editor, she's a producer, and a good friend. And I think you guys are going to like this one.
Awesome. So stay tuned and enjoy Chelsea Hernandez.
On your left.
You're listening to Doc Walks with Ben and Keith.
High five each other. 1, 2, 3, marker. Second sticks.
That's Ben's culture.
It works.
Couple high-fiving white guys and Chelsea Hernandez.
Ooh, is that already the episode title?
Definitely not.
That's
Definitely not.
That's a terrible one.
Yeah. I think I'm your first Latina on your show.
Oh.
Yeah.
That
I was scrolling through it.
I think that's
Unless
actually
I missed someone.
correct.
I mean, I don't like to presume.
You might need to fact check it.
Yeah, well, we'll take a
Yeah.
look. You're probably right. You're one of the people that I have imagined we would get to faster than this. And
Yes.
I have also tried to get to faster than
know.
this, but you have said no.
This is a long time coming.
It is.
Chelsea
It is.
said no multiple times.
Ooh, you know what? Let's try this.
Yeah, this is a fun
Oh,
little zone.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
you go
look
get
at
that.
this.
Look at
It's
that.
like a garden too or something.
Okay, so we are walking along the train tracks on this special private mystical garden path with Ben Steinbauer,
Hello.
Keith Maitland, and right here in the middle, Chelsea Hernandez.
Yay.
I think I had it on the calendar for a month.
That's
Right?
yes, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
It
either
has
checked
been
in,
scheduled and rescheduled
Yes.
a few times.
For
But
a
you
few ti- yeah.
but that's only because she's in fucking hardcore
I
production.
was gonna say that's a good thing. That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, for sure.
And also, her roof collapsed.
Yes.
Ooh, I saw the picture. That was wild.
This is so weird.
Tell us that story.
I was coming back from Puerto Rico for filming with City of Songs and just opened my door and the ceiling of my living room was totally on the floor. I was having a weird feeling about this place. And literally the night before I left, I sat underneath this crack in the ceiling. I was like, I hope that doesn't fall on me.
Oh, and so you
yeah.
almost like manifested it.
Oh,
You
it's
thought
weird.
it,
Yeah.
And it happened.
Yeah. I do follow signs in the universe. And I was feeling weird about this place and I was like, all right, this is a sign. It's time to go. So I'm moving in a couple weeks.
Oh,
right.
well,
Yeah,
that is...
it's a much better place, which I'm super excited about.
Well, we are walking on a gorgeous morning. I mean, this is like the sweet spot in Austin's weather. It's mid-October. We got like a sunny morning, but no clouds in the sky. Look how blue this sky is.
Yeah, I'm not dripping with sweat.
And then take a look over here. You might recall this beautiful community garden,
Yeah, that's so pretty.
the St. David's Community Garden. We featured prominently in the Reed Harkness episode of Doc Walks,
Nice. Okay.
which means there is a portal over there. But that's Reed's portal, so don't try and go through it, Chelsea.
Also,
Try another door.
that was the episode where Portlander Reed Harkness goes through the portal down to the creek, kicks his shoes off, and just hops right in. And I remember going,
Wow.
like internally, I was like, oh, I don't know if that's a great idea.
Yeah.
But he was having such a great time, I wasn't gonna
Okay.
yuck his yum.
All right, listen, longtime viewers of Doc Walks will
I'm not gonna
notice.
jump in the creek, by the way.
Oh,
All right.
thank you.
I know the bacteria that's in there, and I'm gonna save my feet.
I know, Reed's poor toes. I don't want to know what's going on with those two
Yeah.
nails.
That's different than Reed's portal, Reed's portos. All that said, Chelsea Hernandez, longtime Austinite, like way back, longtime Austinite,
I grew up here.
child star
Yes.
on local television.
Oh, I don't know about
yeah,
this.
you didn't know that one.
It's a trivia point on my IMDb page. I don't know who put that there.
Wasn't me. Chelsea is a friend. She is a collaborator. We've gotten the chance to work together a few times, and she's somebody whose career has really just kind of grown with each step in the 10 or so years almost that I've known you. It's been about 10 years.
Yeah. And you've been a big mentor of mine.
Well, I just like to think of us as pals.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to know about the child star situation. What did you star in as a child?
Well, I hosted my own television show
No way.
for half my childhood.
It's adorable.
Yes. Actually, I got recognized in Berlin. It was so weird.
In Berlin?
Yeah, we were meeting up with a host friend, and she was like, I know you. And I was like, did you live in Austin? And she's like, yes. She was like, were you on TV? And I was like, yes. It was so random.
What was the name of the show?
It was called Kids Ideas, and it was like a Martha Stewart show, but for kids. So I was the host, and I made crafts, and I cooked, and traveled around Texas, and it started at the public access channel, where Austin Public is now.
Which we are probably going to walk past on this walk.
I was gonna say, yeah, this is the hood. And I started when I was 8 years old, did that till I was 17. Have 99 episodes.
And so wait, at 8 years old, is this your idea or is this your parents' idea?
It was a collaboration with my mom. My mom had a craft show. This was like back in the 90s, and crafts were like a big thing.
Okay.
Actually, that's when Martha Stewart, I think, was.
Crafts are still a big thing to me.
Yeah.
We're a crafting family.
That's awesome. I love it. She had a craft show, and she was learning she was taking all these producing classes and camera classes and learning the equipment and learning how to edit, tape to tape. And I was like, well, I want to be in front of the camera. And so she was like, okay. And we came up with this show together, and it started on Access, and we got a lot of publicity. And then we were on the WB and NBC affiliates here after Animaniacs.
Oh, look at you.
On Saturday mornings, yeah.
Well, that's an interesting career trajectory, because most people who are in documentary filmmaking never have aspirations of being in front of the camera.
Right.
Until they start a podcast, anyway.
Yeah.
Well, present company certainly excluded. But
Yeah.
talk to me about that transition. Like, how did that?
Totally.
Yeah, how did that happen for you?
I think what happened is I went to college, and I thought I was going to go into broadcast journalism, because I was like, oh, I've been in front of the camera. I interview people. Like, I'm going to do where we split in the pole.
Yes, so.
Oh, that's bad luck.
Oh, no.
We have to do that a fair amount on this show. So I don't know. Maybe that's
Why your luck is.
maybe we're cursed.
Oh, no. Yeah. Gotta redo that.
Well, you believe in signs, so let's look for good signs.
Good sign. Good
Yeah.
sign. Yeah. I thought I was going to go into broadcast journalism and be a news anchor.
Oh, okay.
And I realized I wasn't like witty enough to be on camera.
Here we go.
You have to have a lot of,
You gotta be quick on your feet.
you got to be quick.
Yeah.
And so I didn't like how fast you had to be, and like just be on your toes in front of the camera. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to do this. But I met a group of like documentary filmmakers, and that's when I was like, oh.
So you're still in college when you meet
Yes.
this group. Okay.
Yeah.
And where did you meet them?
I met them here in Austin. I worked with one of them, and they were all from like Southern Illinois University and making
Salukis.
stuff. Yeah. And then that's when I was like, what are documentaries? And thought, this is what I want to do, because I like interviewing people, and I like learning about people and spending time with people also. And then that's when I just started.
I just want to interject. I really hope you are going to provide us with a link to some footage. I have seen footage of Chelsea. It is adorable. And the most adorable part about it is I'm not surprised you were recognized. She looks exactly the same. Exactly.
Okay, this is when you cut in a photo of
Yeah.
me and
Yes.
put it next to me. Yeah.
Ben's getting all directory. Ben's getting directory,
Let me
folks.
frame you on the right here, and then we will put
I'll pretend this is my microphone.
a picture of young Chelsea right here. Awesome. Okay.
Nice.
Got it.
Chelsea, you mentioned, we'll work backwards in time here. You mentioned getting back from Puerto Rico recently.
Yes.
Because you're working on a series called City of Songs.
Yeah. So City of Songs is a music traveling show on PBS directed by Mario Troncoso and hosted by Stephanie Hunt of Buffalo Hunt. And she travels the world trying to find the sound of a city. And so she immerses in the artists, the music and art culture. And yeah, we just travel around the world. So we went to Puerto Rico for season 2, went to Puerto Rico, went to Berlin, I'll be leaving in Mexico City in a couple of weeks.
Wow, what an amazing
Yeah,
gig.
Tokyo.
And so this is a broadcast series for PBS.
Yes.
Hour-long
Yep.
episodes.
Half hour
Half-hour
episodes.
national feed broadcast episode.
Yep. You can watch season 1 on pbs.org.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Are you guys affected by the CPB cuts?
For City of Songs, no, but I was affected on another film that I'm producing with an emerging filmmaker in New York, and we had gotten ITV's open call,
Yeah.
and we got the news of the open call that we
No.
got it the day Trump signed the executive order. So we were
They
waiting.
pulled it back.
Yeah. So the defunding of CPB.
Defunding of Chelsea and
was
her friend.
defunding. Yeah, yeah. So now we're saying our movie is the movie Trump doesn't want you to see.
That's right. Try as he
Yeah,
might,
marketing.
Trump cannot keep us down.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. That was a real bummer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough because you, judging from your filmography, you've done a lot of work. With
Yeah,
PBS, correct?
yeah. That's really how I got my start. My first real job, I worked with Ellen Siro and Karen Bernstein on a show called Fixing the Future for National PBS.
I remember that. I think I was
Yeah.
in grad school, and Ellen Spiro was one of my professors while she was making.
Yeah. She was my professor. I just graduated, and she just threw me in the edit room and in the field, and it was the best thing for me. I learned the whole PBS system and met people, and then I worked for Hector Galan.
Oh, what was that?
Yeah, worked with Hector Galan, and then I worked with Mario Troncoso on Arts and Context as an editor, and did some producing on that show also.
And I always love that show. That's one of the things I love about PBS and the work that's created at the affiliate level around the country is Arts and Context is one of those shows that served the mandate of PBS and bringing smaller unknown stories to the surface for the community to kind of see itself, but at the same time it was shooting way above its weight class. That show could have been a national show.
Totally.
It was so well made.
Yeah.
It was so well directed. It was so well edited. And so when I first met Chelsea and realized that she was the editor on that show, it was just, you started off with my full esteem because you and Mario make a great team.
Yeah.
So it's cool that you have the team back together now on City of Songs on this.
Yeah.
And I bet some of the approaches and some of the language and grammar that you created together on Arts and Context is baked into what you're doing on City of Songs.
Yeah, I think so, for sure. I mean, it's just so nice to work with someone you've been working with for a long time, because now you have the same language. Mario doesn't even have to say much, but I already know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And can help him, make his vision into reality, So it's just really comfortable and fun working with him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a big question? Are you ready for this?
Oh,
This
no.
is this is
I don't know where we go when we die.
Okay, all right. Second question. It's in the news. Everybody's feeling on some level the crunch of cutting funding that is happening.
Yeah.
Make the case, if you will, for why PBS is important and should be funded.
I mean, it's part of the economy. I was figuring out how much CPB has supported me and my work, but also my community. And I've hired over 100 people over the past few years. I've been able to provide jobs, and I think that's really meaningful. And we just have this whole, there's this whole ecosystem of independent documentary filmmaking that's not on Netflix, that's not on Hulu, but they're in the community actually doing work, engaging with people.
Who are these
inspiring people? Citizens, anyone. There's audiences out there watching our stuff. I guess it's community engagement that is lost. And art does so much to help people change their minds, to understand things, to be inspired, and we're gonna lose a lot of that. So
At a time when we need it now more than ever, right? We were
exactly.
talking off camera as we were getting going about how young people are are basically watching YouTube or watching TikTok feeds, and we're all more and more drawn into our private worlds of our phones.
Yeah.
And so having a sense of community and city or civic pride, all
Yeah.
those things feel like they're starting to slip away a little bit.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like one thing too is like people will say like, well, you know, you can still make art, you know, you can do it for free, and it's like, no, like this is my job, you know, like I need to pay my bills,
Right.
stuff, you know.
Right.
And as much as there's like stuff I can do on the side, like passion projects and stuff that maybe I don't have funding for, like ultimately my job is creating art, you know, and people need to be paid for that, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Ben's sold. He's
Okay,
pitching it.
Okay, yeah. But you know, also I will say I went to school in New York for a couple of years, and I had come back to Austin where I finished out at UT. And during that time I went to South by and saw Eyes of Me at South by
Tell me more.
Southwest. Yeah, and I was like, oh, this guy is like based in Austin. Like how cool, because I was coming from New York where I worked at DCTV and actually kind of dropped out of school because I was like, I'm working in documentary, like I don't need to go to school. But I was really bummed when I came back to Austin because I was like, there's nothing here. Like, what am I gonna do here? But seeing Eyes of Me was really inspiring because I was like, oh, this guy like lives here and made this movie. And then that's when I noticed the ITVS logo also. And I was like, okay, wait, what's ITVS? Like, I need to learn about this. So that was really inspirational. Seeing PBS stuff does inspiring work.
Tell me more about this Eyes of Me. What is that?
Enough about me. What do you think about me?
No, but I really appreciate you saying that. And I know we're all a part of a continuum. And that's the thing I love most about like the community of filmmakers and honestly like why Ben and I are doing this podcast is like tapping into that continuum and recognizing, you know, you saw the first film that I made and saw that ITVS logo, and that spoke to you and kind of pushed you in a direction. We recently had Bradley Beasley on the thing, who reminded me that. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, Bradley is one of the people who pointed me to ITVS.
Oh,
you
that's
know,
awesome.
and then you mentioned, you know, Hector Galan.
Yeah.
You know, talk about continuum. Hector Galan is
the
old
Latino godfather.
Yeah.
PBS, the Latino Ken Burns.
and Austin's kind of like sole documentarian. It seems like, you know, going back 40 years.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know who else was around in the 80s making
Right.
you know, PBS docs.
Yeah. Ellen too.
Yeah.
Around a long time.
And so, you know, and undoubtedly there are filmmakers that are coming up that are seeing your work, you know, that are inspired by you and the work that you are doing.
Yeah.
Are you a member of the Brown Girls Doc Mafia?
Yes. Yeah. I was a member before it became like a big network.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. Tell us what that.
Okay, Brown Girls Doc Mafia is a network of BIPOC women filmmakers, women non-binary people. And I think I heard about it from Pam Aguilar, who used to work at PBS. And I was like, what is this? Like, the name of it was scary.
It is a little like, yeah,
like,
it sounds like there's tattoos involved.
There might be a little tattoos. But it's just a network of people.
It's
who
just a
have
little
database.
DVX 100
Yeah.
right underneath your eye.
A 2398.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Now it's grown. They got Ford Foundation funding. Like, they've gotten more funding to support this group, but they have panels, they do fellowships for filmmakers, but there's also now a whole database of all the members online. So if you are looking for crew members in certain cities, wherever, you can go there and like reach out to people and contact them. Yeah.
So I do not know about the Video Consortia. Is that what you called it? Video Consortium?
Consortium.
Video Consortium.
Yeah, it is another kind of like database for like nonfiction and maybe journalist stuff. It's a great place to get gigs. That's how I got the Beto gig.
Okay.
I worked for the Beto campaign in 2022 and saw a post on the Video Consortium.
What was your role there? Because that's that's an interesting place where, you know, you're a
Activism and filmmaking converge.
It was
Thank you.
wild. Like, because I've been so much in this like kind of journalistic space, you know, and now I was making work where I'm like, oh, I can attack the other party. I can make attack ads, you know? I was like,
You know what's interesting about using that word attack is that our commercial production company, The Bear,
yeah,
we did some work with Beto,
right.
and they were always like, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
Yeah.
We're not. And this was, I think, the first campaign,
Yeah.
maybe?
When he was running for Senate.
When he was running for Senate.
Right.
And we put together a couple of things. The Richard Linklater one that we did with Sonny Carl Davis, the Come On Ted, that went viral.
Come on, Ted.
Yeah.
And that one was so funny because it like poked at Ted Cruz
yeah.
for not being,
Yeah.
Texan enough.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't aim for shit
Oh,
on
that's
it.
so
And-
interesting.
And we were always like, oh guys, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
Let's
understand.
go for it. Let's throw some punches.
I admire the high road, and also I think you're losing out on some audience here.
Yeah. He's so nice, so nice. And maybe that's why he lost. I don't know,
Boring.
you know?
Who wants that?
I know. Just a real, genuine guy.
Your role with the campaign was what?
So I think my official title was like videographer editor, but I got hired because they were looking for someone with like documentary experience because their plan was to like create these kind of like doc style profile like videos. So that's what was so exciting is like I got to go out and like search for, protagonists in a way and kind of like tell their story. And yeah, it was incredible. Just really fun work.
Well, what you're describing there actually gets to the one area that I was really excited to get into when it came to Building the American Dream. So Building the American
Yeah.
Dream is your feature debut.
Yes.
A journalistic but very personal expose of what it is to work in the unprotected and like unmitigated disaster that is the Texas construction business
Yeah.
when it comes to undocumented workers and really just anybody who's on a construction site who is not covered by workers' compensation, who is not supported, who is not treated fairly by like the mechanism of kind of like development that Texas has really prides itself.
Well, the movie talks about how Texas is a draw for businesses because it's unregulated.
Totally.
So the people who oppose any type of regulation do it for these like pro-business reasons.
Right.
But your film is really interesting where you cast it so brilliantly. We're in the kitchen with these people as they're cooking dinner, and we're around their tables, and we're in these moments where we really feel the gravity of those decisions.
Yeah.
And Ben's grabbing onto exactly what I want to ask about. As you mentioned, like on the Beto thing, you're excited about going out and discovering character, finding subjects.
Yeah.
You're realizing who's a protagonist.
Totally.
And that's what really struck me about Building the American Dream, because stories like that and subject matter documentaries like that can be kind of scary. The issue is so important, but how do you humanize it and how do you bring the viewer into the story?
Exactly.
And so that's what I want to ask you about is like casting, literally casting your net, right? Like building up your subject pool and finding folks, making a connection with them, and deciding on who makes the cut.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
I think I just make sure to have some good conversations with people.
Yeah.
You can really understand someone with that interaction and how comfortable they are talking, So I just try to spend time with people. I mean, for Building American Dream, I filmed with more people.
Right.
But their stories were very important, but for the purposes of a film, there wasn't any sort of like journey I could follow,
Right.
and I knew that wasn't gonna come up, or if it was, it's gonna be years later, but I don't have that time.
So you're looking for somebody who is trying to accomplish something or who has like a big obstacle coming up that you can film them doing.
Exactly. Yeah. And that was what was happening with all of my characters. Now, I kind of came in, not at the middle, but I wasn't there at the very beginning of their battles, but I knew I could make that up and figure out how to tell that story easily.
You're making shit up now?
No, I'm not making it up, but I knew I could include that,
Right.
But I wanted to be in the moment of them like winning or losing,
Right.
in that battle.
Can I tell you my favorite casting choice of yours
Yeah,
for
sure.
Building
Yeah, I'd love to
American
hear.
Dream? I love the electrician
Yeah.
woman and her husband,
And been great.
particularly because I was so fascinated to see, as a woman, a lead electrician, and then the way that she talked about her husband.
And the way he talks about her.
She says this amazing thing where she's like, I had never seen a man come to work with vegetables in his bag. Start carrying vegetables. And then she's like, and then he
started
gets home,
cooking.
and he goes in the kitchen and he starts making dinner.
I've never seen a man at the laundromat.
Or at the laundromat.
I know.
That's right. It was like, as a guy who loves to cook and do laundry, I was like, yes, I feel seen.
You heard it here first, folks. Ben Steinbauer is a catch.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Those characters were the ones that spoke to me the most too.
Yeah.
And my question is like, how do you find them? Like, it's one thing to say like, oh, I get close to them, I talk to them a lot, sure. But like, how do you go from sitting at a desk at the local PBS station or in the room in your house and you say, I want to make this film, to being invited into the kitchen to have that conversation?
Yeah.
Like, where were they?
I spend a lot of time building trust
Yeah.
with people so that I can go into their house and become this fly in the wall. Like with Claudia, the electrician, the morning of her ICE check-in, she didn't even realize I was there because she was just ingrained with like what was happening and her preparations in case she got deported. So I'm like trying to get to that place where they forget about me. But I go to where there's probably a community. So in that regards, when I was doing research, I learned about the Workers' Defense Project and was like, let me go and attend meetings. They have these gatherings weekly where people are talking about the issues, but then they also do like role-playing exercises to be like, you know, what happens if you get pulled over and how do you talk to the police officer, blah, blah, blah. So I would just like,
So what were these meetings?
they call them like juntas, I guess, at Workers' Defense Project.
Okay.
And so people who have complaints or issues or whatever, they can go to these and get interviewed to possibly get a lawyer to help.
So Workers' Defense Project is part of the backdrop of the film.
Yes.
Were they more forward facing? Like when you were getting started, was that like, I'm going to align with these folks and kind of cast out of their pool? Or
Yeah, I wanted to get to that group first to kind of understand what was happening, but then also connect with people outside of it as well. It was hard working with an undocumented community because people are skeptical of the camera, right? And they don't know where to go. So this was a place I really could build trust and people understood the story I was trying to tell.
That's fascinating. So you knew that that would be an obstacle for you finding character.
Yeah.
And so you needed to align yourself with a
Exactly.
trusted organization.
And I needed to tell people too that like the risks that they were going to carry being part of the film and showing their face, because I didn't want to blur people's faces. And so I kind of had to choose people in that sense who were out there already talking to camera. So I think everybody was already used to like being in the news, you know?
Right.
But no one had really like gone to the house or spent time with them. So I kind of had to explain that to them of like, this isn't me just doing a news story. This is me coming in and spending time with you over a couple of years.
what did you learn as a filmmaker, you know, as a first-time feature maker? And that's when, you know, when we really got to know each other. I remember we went and had tacos at Tacoba. Sat at a picnic table there, and you kind of laid out your plans, and we kind of spitballed around. Where did you go as a personal journey from the beginning of that film to the end of that film?
I think for me, you know, I was coming in from this sort of like journalism world. And so I thought I needed to show both sides. And I do have this other contractor that's in the film, but what I realized was like, it wasn't just black and white. Like there wasn't one evil person and, oh my God, what is that?
Oh my
What is
goodness, good.
Is that a mouse or
That
like?
was a really fat mouse if that was a mouse. Did you get it, Ben?
I didn't, but it's right here. Let's see if we don't spook it.
Oh no, I think he went underneath.
Right here.
Wow, maybe
Where are you, fat mouse?
there might be snakes
Oh.
around here because they eat those,
Yeah,
whatever
well,
they
let's
are.
hope
Was it
Your stuff.
was it a hedgehog? Is that what that was?
not. Kind of looked like.
No, it wasn't a hedgehog. I mean, it was tiny. I don't know. I think
Was it a marmot? What was that?
Having a marmot in the city limits, that ain't legal either.
So, all right.
But yeah, no, I came to realize that I don't have to show both sides. What I'm doing is showing a piece of the story that hasn't been told. And that's what I want to like focus in on. And because the subject was so big, like there were so many ways, there was so much I left out, but I couldn't include it all, you know? So I just tried to focus on the main pieces that were affecting the families and also moments of like universality, like you felt.
I saw that earlier and I almost picked it up, and then I was like, oh, dog slobber all over it.
Oh, yeah. It looks a little dried.
You have no idea how many baseballs I have in my minivan just right now. My 2-year-old.
From picking them up on the walks?
No, I play baseball on a team, and then my 2-year-old son is completely obsessed. So literally, I have probably 5 baseballs in the minivan.
I really thought it was going to be a much bigger number from that whole. You have no idea.
Well, I don't actually know because they roll around every time I drive. So my car just.
I was guessing like 143. So.
So 5 was a.
It's somewhere between that number.
50,
no, now it's either 6 or 144.
Okay.
I love hearing what you're saying as far as like that realization, right? Like I don't need to be a pure journalist. Like in my mind, documentary and journalism are not the same thing.
Yeah.
And I don't feel that requirement. Let me ask you this follow-up question. That was your first feature. What would you do differently today with that film? I'm always curious, like the growth, like where have you gone? Like if you were starting that project today, is there anything you would alter or take a different tack?
I'd shoot in 4K. No, I probably wouldn't have shot as much, to be honest. I just filmed everything and it was just way too much footage. Yeah, I don't know what I would do differently. I'm really proud of it.
Of course, you should be.
Yeah.
It got nominated for an Emmy.
Cool.
That was exciting.
And like all great documentaries, it actually like continues to be relevant. You know, like
that's right.
I watched it in advance of our walk here, and when she has to go check in with ICE and is worried about being deported, I was like, this may as well be happening like today. Or right now.
We screened it on Labor Day at AFS Cinema. And I hadn't seen the film in a few years, and it was, I think, really heavy on the audience. Like I could feel the audience like feeling it also, because it is still relevant. It's been like 10 years since I started shooting that film, and it's still super important, sadly. But it's still there to hopefully make a difference with people, help them think differently.
No, that film has an evergreen quality that is an unfortunate evergreen quality because Texas shows no signs of adjusting the inequity in that world. Let's jump to another feature.
Okay.
One that Ben and I both have personal connections to. This is Breaking the News, to our co-director of. I am an executive producer on that film, although I did very little in classic executive producer style. But I was glad.
We met like monthly, I feel like.
Well, yeah,
we
sure.
met pretty often.
But, well, I appreciate that. I didn't feel like, I never went out in the field. I never had a camera in my hand. I was never in the edit room. These are all the things that, I do on my projects. And so it was an easy assignment to hop on a monthly Zoom call with people that I enjoy spending time with a subject matter that feels exciting and fresh and unfolding in complicated and challenging ways that, like spur great storytelling and problem solving. And so Breaking the News, and Ben has a personal connection to Breaking the News.
Yep, I'm very good friends with Emily Ramshaw and David Hartstein, and of course know you guys, and so was and know Heather, and so I was always rooting for that film and really fascinated. I was just really impressed.
So Breaking the News, let's just give a quick rundown of what the film is.
Yeah, so the film follows the 19th News, which is a news organization that reports on politics and policy, but through the lens of gender and race. And so we filmed them in the first 3 years of their startup, which was during COVID, during lockdown in 2020. There was a presidential race, there was the insurrection, and we're following the reporters all through that pretty heavy political period. And I was doing that and working in the Beto campaign.
Yeah.
Wow. So how did you get involved? How did this come about?
Heather actually reached out to me. Heather found the story, and she, had worked with David Hartstein, who is Emily Ramshaw's husband, and Emily is the CEO of the 19th. And she just had this idea and approached Emily about filming. And I think she was supposed to go down like during South by Southwest. And then the lockdown like was announced. And so then she had to like think about the story in a different way. Because her whole idea for the story was, oh, we're going to follow the 19th in the field during the election.
Right.
Well, that didn't happen because they weren't in the field. But
COVID.
Heather was also inspired by the 19th and the fact that like they have a very inclusive, diverse group of people. And she thought, well, maybe the directing team should be that way also.
I have to tell you, this is a conversation. So Heather, I got involved in the project fairly early. Heather kind of came and pitched it and talked about it. And initially I offered to be involved as kind of a production services help because Heather lives in LA and the 19th is based here in Austin. It felt like my wife, Sarah, who shoots all of my projects, could be available, and she's also an executive producer, could be available to kind of grab a camera and get stuff locally if Heather needed it.
Yeah.
If they were interested, they could office out of our office, they could edit out of our edit bays, you know, depending on where the project went.
Yeah.
And pretty shortly after Heather started pitching it around and developing it further, she came to me and she said, I think I need a co-director, and for exactly the reason that you said. And I advised against it. I'm just gonna be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Everyone did.
Keith was trying to talk you out of the job.
No, but I will say,
Yeah.
no, she
Well,
wasn't. Guess
we're
what?
Done with this podcast.
Chelsea's name was not in the mix yet. As a matter of fact, Chelsea's name came out of my mouth when I said, if you're going to talk to anybody, you should be talking to Chelsea. I wasn't the only one who recommended Chelsea.
so
So
you
Keith
did,
is
okay.
taking credit for
Both.
the job.
Yes.
I give and I take away and I give again.
Okay, I'll go.
No, but I was against the idea of co-directing because I have never done it.
Yeah.
And because I always view the role of the director above and beyond all the different things a director can do is a tiebreaker. It's a tiebreaker between the editor, the producer, the subject, the executive producers. You know, eventually somebody's got to have a final say.
Totally.
And when it's two people, you know, how do you navigate that? As Megan Gilbride always says, co-directors only work if they're born of the same womb.
I highly disagree with
Oh,
that.
right. So brothers, that's why there's like siblings.
Or sisters.
There's lots
Or brother sisters.
brothers.
There,
sisters,
and there are a lot of those combos for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But
Or a pair of
as somebody-
non-binary
Yeah.
siblings.
As somebody who has
One brother
co-directed
and a
on multiple projects, I disagree with that.
Yeah.
In the same way that you play in a band and you figure it out. And like,
True.
and filmmaking is already a team sport, and I understand like the hierarchy is cleaner if there's one,
Yeah.
but no, it's collaborative. And so
Yeah.
like as long as you're on the same page and you guys agree that the best idea wins.
Well, yeah, but that's
I think you have to remember that, like the main goal that you all have is the same thing.
Right.
It's just how to get there is different. And I think that's what Megan is saying. I can understand because like if you don't have experience working with co-directors and you've been working as your, as sole director for a while, it can be a little hard to like navigate. Like you give up your vision a little bit, so that you can accommodate the other.
compromise with baked in.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
compromise.
but guys,
yeah.
we make documentaries. Our whole job is giving up our vision. We have a vision. We go into a story thinking, I'm going to tell it this way. This is the path I'm going to go on. And then the story tells you what it is.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
And so we're so used to like doing that arithmetic, doing that dance where we think it's one thing and actually it reveals itself as the other. And to me, that's the magic of what we do. It's like this continual life lesson.
Yeah.
But directing is not just story, and I appreciate like what you're saying as far as like following the narrative as it unfolds. That's for sure. But when it comes to vision, there's also aesthetic choices, there's tone, there's pacing, there's music, there's 1 million decisions that a director is ultimately responsible for.
Yeah.
And so I don't disagree that like a true documentarian needs to be able to follow where the waters wash us.
Yeah.
Is that a phrase? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Ben was giving me shit the other day because he's realized from editing these podcasts that a lot of times I start talking before I know where I'm going to end up, which is a true documentarian.
Yes.
It's allowing the waters to wash me.
You're basically proving my point right
Do
now.
you want to jump in the creek?
Ben wants to push me in the creek. But
Wash away.
so I'm breaking the news. You are co-director with Heather, but you guys didn't stop there, and that's the point I was getting at. Is like you weren't stuck with two people, flipping a coin, which is my concern.
Yeah.
You added a third director,
Yes.
and to
Princess.
complicate things, you added a third director who you guys didn't know very well.
And we didn't meet each other, I think, until like maybe a year in or something, because we were all remote.
The age of COVID.
And we were all over the country. I was in Austin, Heather's in LA, and Princess is in New York.
So talk about like a diversity in every possible way.
Yes. And a producer. Diane Quon, who you had on your show also.
That's right.
Fantastic.
Diane,
So
maybe my
amazing.
favorite guest. And honestly, we did Diane a real disservice. Actually, that's not true. We did Diane a service. We did our listeners a real disservice by only speaking to Diane for probably about 25 minutes. We need to get her back on the show one of these
Video.
days.
That was when we were still doing it on audio.
Hopefully
Although-
she can come for South by. I don't think she's ever been to South by Southwest.
All right.
But she's had films here, so.
Well, I think we're planning to go to Sundance again this year. So
Oh,
maybe
good.
we'll
Okay,
see.
She'll probably be
I'm
there.
sure she'll be there.
So the film ends up
Yeah.
after 3 years of filming, 40 or 50 different potential subjects, 30 or 50 different potential subject matters, because they're reporters reporting on life in
Yeah.
every facet of society,
Yeah.
and 3 different directors,
Yeah.
a couple different editors over time, and Diane.
Yeah.
I am really excited and proud of where that film ended up.
Same.
Is a testament, I think, to what Ben is talking about, the power of collaboration.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
all of what this disparate, so many ideas, so many voices, so many possibilities,
Yeah.
ending up in a film that I know Lois Vosson was very excited
Yeah.
to put on Independent Lens.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that film now? It's been a couple of years since it came out.
Yeah, I'm really proud of that film, like what we did during COVID. And everyone always says like, oh, it doesn't feel like a COVID film, and I'm really proud of that, because we pushed really hard to make sure that it wasn't a COVID film. But I think what I also learned from it, and I think Chabeli says this, she's one of the reporters that we filmed, like the 3 director thing was really hard. There was a lot of challenges, but at the end of the day, like someone's lived experience is going to bring up different questions to other people's lived experience. And I think we need to like remind ourselves about that. And so there were things that like Heather brought up or Princess brought up that maybe I didn't think about because that wasn't my own like lived experience. And I think by having all of us as the co-directors, we were able to tap into different subject matters and bring up things that I don't know if I could have done all by myself.
Yeah. It's an awesome movie. Yeah, and everybody should go watch it.
It's
where
on
can I find it?
Amazon.
On Amazon. Okay.
Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are at the end of our walk,
Yeah.
and I want to ask you a couple lightning round questions.
Oh, no. Okay.
All right. So
Oranges.
number one, what was the film, your gateway drug film, that you saw that made you think, I can do this, I want to do this, this is my path?
You know what? I think To Be and To Have. Yeah.
Tell me more. I don't think I know that one.
English
It's a one
teacher
room in France. Yeah. I mean, there was controversy behind that, but it's a one room schoolroom.
Yeah. Tell our listeners about the film.
Yeah, it's just a verite documentary on a one room schoolroom in rural France, and it's multi-generational. Yeah, and you just watch the kids. I don't know. It's lovely.
It's beautiful. I had
It's
that
really
film on
pretty.
VHS.
Yeah.
What's the controversy?
There was something about like maybe the teacher was asking for money from the filmmaker.
How dare she?
So, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Jerk.
Which I was like, just give him
I
your
know.
back.
By today's standards, that's like, okay,
Yeah, because it was
we're all
pretty
used to
big
that.
then. Yeah. I think it was that movie. I was like, that's what I want to make. I
That's
want
a
to make
great
those
one.
kind of movies. Yeah.
Okay. Dream collaborator. If you could collaborate with anyone, who would it be?
Okay, well, I'm gonna go fiction, but Ethan Hawke.
He's easy. That dude says yes to everything.
I know. I feel it. I feel it. I'm manifesting
Well,
now.
tell me more. Why Ethan Hawke?
He's incredible. I was an intern with Sandra Adair on For Midnight. Yeah, and seeing the outtakes from him, like he is just an incredible actor, like just so amazing. And I just love his passion. He's just like whatever project he jumps on, he's like so passionate about. I think he did a doc on Paul Newman also.
I just want to shout out Sandra Adair, Oscar-nominated editor of most of Richard Linklater's films. Sandra is like a superhero.
Yeah, you should have her.
We should have her. She directed that incredible documentary, Lance Lesher. That's an
collage artist. Right. Yes, he's great.
I love Sandra.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
All right, Sandra, if you're listening, we would like for you to come on the show. The third one is, what are you thinking about right now? What is the thing that you can't stop focusing on, thinking about?
The news.
So say more.
Well, I do work on a lot of films about the immigrant community, so seeing these ICE raids and videos on what's happening is kind of on my mind.
Does it make you want to go pick up a camera and go after it?
It does and it doesn't.
Yeah, sure.
I'm a little overwhelmed, but also I'm to be honest, a little scared for my safety also. And I have friends who have had friends who were U.S. citizens be picked up and held in detention for a few hours, and then they didn't know what to do, and all I could say was call the press, talk to the press. So and that's where I feel like my job is really important right now. So yes, sometimes I do feel like I want to pick up the camera and follow at the same time. It's really emotional. I don't know if I could do it. So I'm on a music traveling show right now.
That's right. What can you tell us that's coming down the pipe? What'll be the next Chelsea Hernandez joint that hits the scene?
Well, it's not premiering, but there is a movie I'm working on about a school for asylum-seeking children.
I was curious about that project.
Yeah. So this is the part I don't know if it'll be public yet, but we'll be pitching at Doc NYC.
Nice.
So we'll be there with that film. So I'm really excited about that film, and thinking about the ICE raids and everything happening now. Being part of that film allows me to bring my thoughts and emotions into that film. I have another film called Abstract by Jaden Gosling in New York. This is his feature debut about border technology and surveillance. It's a fantastic, essayistic film in black and white.
And there's also, I know, a music doc you're making right now.
Oh yes, I am.
With our friend Luke Jacobs.
Yes, with Luke Jacobs, co-directing a film about Ruben Ramos. And you can follow that. You can go online. I think it's elgatonegrofilm.com.
All right.
Wait a second. Before we go, we are standing right by my minivan.
Okay.
Just so you don't think that
Here we go.
Talking out of
144 balls.
Balls
Okay.
everywhere, all over my car.
One.
Well, there's two.
Oh, okay.
Two in there. Oh, my son, my wife took my son to school.
Oh, my wife.
We always have a glove and multiple baseballs under these seats. So, all right, I've got two. Now I've got three.
Yeah, you got three.
Okay.
Thank you for helping.
Chelsea, what should we call this episode?
What should we call this episode?
Hey.
What should we call this episode?
Chelsea Hernandez. I think I just named it. And
that
was
Chelsea Hernandez.
Chelsea Hernandez.
It sure was.
I have known Chelsea's work, and I have been friendly with her for many years, but I've never had the chance to really talk with her, and I was so glad she went on a walk with us.
She's a great filmmaker, and she's always got opinions and ideas. And I have to tell you, she's one of the people, she's not the only one, but she's one of the people that we've had on this podcast that I have an organic walk and doc relationship with.
Yeah, you walk with other people. I know you like to point this out as often as humanly possible. Listen, I also walk with other people.
But Ben has far more friends than I have.
Talking about how I'm going on all these other walks.
No, he loves to talk about baseball and teaching UT and being a great dad. I am just out here getting my steps and complaining about the industry.
All right, guilty on all accounts. Well, thank you guys for listening to Chelsea's episode. Thank you to Chelsea for coming on. And
let's talk about it next time on Doc Walks. Ben and I are walking with Rena Effendi. She's a filmmaker from Azerbaijan, currently living in Istanbul, traveling to Austin to present her film, Searching for Satyrus. This is a fun one that travels great distances, has some laughs, and some beautiful butterflies too. Once again, thanks for spending time with us. Thank you to Chelsea for coming out.
Yep, and thank you guys as always for listening. We hope you enjoy, and we'll see you on the next one.
On Doc Walks. Doc Walks is produced, directed, edited by me, Keith Maitland, and him,
Ben Steinbauer.
And co-producer, Dayton Thompson. We'll catch you on the trail.
Next time on Doc Walks.
One foot in front of the other.
Stop talking. Follow us at Doc Walks Pod on Instagram, X, and YouTube.